Hello everyone and welcome to the inaugural Playset Masters booster box opening. Today, of course, because of the pre-release, we're going to be doing Strixhaven. I bought 2 boxes, but for this video we're only going to go through one, and I'm going to save this other this other box for a series of videos where I'm just going to be opening a single pack at a time, and you can find those in short form on Instagram or TikTok if you so prefer. Of course, with the Strixhaven boxes, we get these promos, Dragon Guard Elite, 2/2 for 2 green with Magecraft, gets a +1/+1 counter for every spell or instant you cast or copy. Sorcery or instant. And then you can double the number of +1/+1 counters on it for 6, 4, and green. It's not the best card in the world, but honestly, I kind of want to see it work with Atraxa. You know, you can ramp, 6 is not that big in green, and with Atraxa, doubling season, and that new Vorinclex from the last set, I feel like it could be dangerous. So, anyways, without further ado, here's some scissors. Let's get to this box. Alright. Ooh. Good cut. Let's see here. Trash sounds. Good. Okay. Let's see what we've got. Strixhaven. School of Mages. Set boosters. So for the pre-release, they were not selling at my local game store a draft box, but only set boosters. I'm cool with that. Ooh. There we go. Alright. They've been doing this new thing with booster boxes lately. I'm not too much a fan of it. I understand, local card shop displays, this would look really cool. When you get this all set up like this, and then people come in and they're like, hey, buy my product, look at this. Ooh, Magic the Gathering Strixhaven. Let me put a, Harry Potter playlist on in the background, and then we'd all have some fun. I mean, it is what it is. I just prefer, when they were back in the day and they were all just stacks laying on their back like this. I don't know. I think the boxes look better then. That's just personal opinion. Doesn't really matter too much, but let's get that box out of the way. Here we go. Let's open these up. Alright, so usually what I like to do is I like to organize my packs by the images, and it looks like for Strixhaven they are all the same image. I actually didn't expect that at all. That's interesting. I really expected them to do, they have the different schools because they're selling them, the pre-release boxes that way. I expected to have different images on these, and that's all right. We'll still open these one by one. I know most people when they open packs they like to do the old school wrestling with that, but I don't know. I think scissors are kind of easier, so if that doesn't offend any of y'all, I'm just gonna get to it like that. Let's do this. Pack number 1, fingers crossed. Let's hope we get a Nicol Bolas. That's a super bad joke for people who know me. I love Nicol Bolas, but obviously he's not in this set. That's all right with me. Liliana is though. She's a professor. Professor Onyx? That's weird. These cards, obviously you can't play with them, but you can collect them. And I don't know, I'm kind of a avaricious person on the deep inside, and so I see 36 out of 81, and I'm like, ooh, I want them all. Pokemon style. So Inklink, token creature, 2/1 flyer. Interesting thing about this set, obviously, because it's brand new, and I didn't personally go through all the spoilers, but I know some people did, and so this particular booster box opening might be a bit slow for some people's tastes. That's all right. I'm going to enjoy these, try to get familiar with some of these cards, and if it bothers you, you can watch this on 2 or 3 times speed, or skip. That's all right. I'm doing this mostly for my entertainment anyway. So, let's see. We have a lesson. Ooh, lessons are a new mechanic. If I got it right, I think you can have these in your collection if you're playing kitchen top Magic, or you can have them in your sideboard if you're playing some sort of competitive play, and there are certain cards that will let you bring these in from the outside of the game into your hand so you can cast them. Kind of like companions work. Hopefully these aren't too broken so they have to, change all those rules again and maybe do some bannings. But anyways, this one's Spirit Summoning, Sorcery Lesson, common obviously. For 3 mana, you can create a 3/2 red-white spirit creature token. Fair enough, alright. Elemental Masterpiece, for 7, create 2 4/4 blue and red elemental creature tokens. And then for 2 mana, you can discard this and create a treasure token. I like that personally because I'm a huge fan of treasure tokens, and even if this is not really that good of a card to play, I just like treasure tokens so much. I'm probably going to play it in EDH in some jank deck that I'm going to figure out how to do it, but I don't know. It's good, I think, also for limited play, discard and get a treasure. That's not a bad thing. Here's a Sudden Breakthrough for 2, instant. You can create a treasure token, but also target creature gets +2/+0, gains first strike. Neato. Ooh. Augur Battle Seer. 3/4 for 5. Ogre Shaman with haste, and you can tap it to scry. Not bad. Heated Debate for 3, instant. This spell can't be countered. I like that. Deals 4 damage to a creature or a planeswalker. If I get a pack of one of these in draft and I don't see a bomb, I would pick this. This is really neat. Can't be countered, deals 4 damage to a creature. I like that. See, this card, oh, this is nasty. It's an uncommon, Grinning Ignis for 3. It's a 2/2, and for red, you can return Grinning Ignis to its owner's hand, and you get 3 mana, 2 colorless and a red, and you can only activate this as a sorcery. But if you use this with what's her name, Bergie, the god from the last set, Kaldheim, you can just infinite mana in one turn, and then throw out a Banefire or something, or Storm cards or something like that, and just wreck shop. That's neat. All right, cool. So we're gonna put uncommons here. Let's put that over there. All right, so Rip Apart for 2, sorcery, choose 1. You can either deal 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker, or you can destroy target artifact or enchantment. Not bad. For 2 mana, that's not bad, yeah. Here's a white spell, Secret Rendezvous for 3. You and target opponent each draw 3 cards. See, I really like these, particularly in EDH, because it's like, I don't know, a political card. Me and target opponent, neat. We're super friends. All right, so for 4, we've got a Blade Historian, 2/3. Attacking creatures I control have double strike. That's nasty. I like that. Ooh, this is neat. Oh, man, I am such a fan of this alternate art stuff they've been doing lately with these boxes. This is just neat. Electrolyze for 3. You draw a card and deal 2 damage to 1 or 2 targets. That's just such a cool looking card. Man, I like that. We'll put that over there. And then we got a foil. Leech Fanatic for 2/2. As long as it's your turn, it has lifelink. All right, let's put the lands over here because they're not too important. All right, let's get to the next pack. And of course, as we get through the packs, the commons particularly, we can skip through those pretty easily because they'll start to get familiar and boring. All right, let's start with that. I like that. Super neat. I'm a huge fan of dragons. I don't know if you know that. So here's a spirit token. That's cool. Mountain land. All right. Elemental Summoning for 5. I think we already got one of those. Oh no, we didn't. We got Spirit Summoning and Elemental Masterpiece. That's my confusion. Anyway, a 4/4 blue and red elemental. That's neat. Dragon's Approach for 3. Oh, I love dragons. Even at common. The theme is so neat. This card in particular, I remember seeing spoils for this. A deck can have any number of these, and so you can build even an EDH deck with 99 of these. And, 1 land or I guess that would be 0 lands, 99 of these, and 1 commander, so that would be stupid. You wouldn't want to do that, but you can. And that's neat. So this deals 3 damage to each opponent. You can exile this and 4 other cards, and you can search for a dragon, put it on the battlefield, and shuffle. I really want to build a Nicol Bolas deck with one of these. I feel like it would be super neat. Nicol Bolas, Archon, and Uber Dragons. Alright, so Mage Duel for 3 sorcery. It costs 2 less to cast if you've already cast something, an instant or a sorcery this turn. And you get, let's see, target creature you control gets +1/+2 until the end of turn, and then it fights something. That's not bad. Charge through for 1, give something trample and draw a card. Gotta love cantrips. Alright, Detention Vortex for 1, enchant non-land permanent. It can't attack, block, no activated abilities, and for 3 you can destroy this, and only your opponents may activate this ability, and only as a sorcery. Alright, well, I can see this having some use, but you know, they just keep doing white dirty. That's alright. So we got Hall Monitor for 1. It's a 1/1 with haste. For 2, and you tap it, target creature can't block this turn. Yeah, I could definitely use that. That's neat. I like that. Access Tunnel is a land. Tap it for colorless, and then for 3, you can tap it, and target creature with 3 or less can't be blocked this turn. I like that with ninjas and ninjutsu. I could have used that. And then, let's see, Mage Hunter for 4. It's a 3/4 horror. Whenever an opponent casts or copies an instant or sorcery, they lose a life. Yeah, I'm going to use that. Absolutely going to. Okay, we got Accomplished Alchemist for 4. It's a 2/5. You can tap it, add 1 mana of any color. You can tap it, add X mana, where X is the amount of life you've gained this turn. I don't like life gain decks, so this wouldn't work for me, but I can see that happening for somebody. This is so neat. Oh man, I just love Shock. Just, you know, it's not a bad red card. Some people hate it, but whatever, dude. Look at this art. This is so freaking cool. Oh man, to this day I have no idea if the heavens were obeying him or attacking him. Ral Zarek, research notes. Freaking neat. I love that. Alright, and then we got a foil. A 0/0 for 1, Star Pupil, Human Wizard White. Star Pupil enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter. When it dies, you can put its counters on a target creature you control. I can see that having some use in limited play. Alright, next pack. Let's get to this. And I promise this is going to get quicker. We have so many packs to get through. Alright. Start with the token. You got a Fractal 0/0. That's neat. I like it. That's kind of cool. Magic art, man. There's just nothing like it. Freaking love it. Alright, we got a Forest. Start from scratch for 3 is a lesson. Choose 1. Start from scratch deals a damage to any target, or you can destroy an artifact. That's neat. Let's see. Combat Professor for 4. 2/3. It has flying. At the beginning of combat on my turn, target creature I control gets +1/+0 and vigilance. Owlin Shield Mage for 5. 3/3. Flying. Ward. Pay 3 life. See, that's neat. I like this ward mechanic. Not the ones with mana, but this one in particular. Pay 3 life. I'm definitely going to be using that. That's so cool. Alright, Silver Quill Pledge Mage for 3. 3/1 Magecraft. Let's see. Gains your choice of flying or lifelink until the end of turn. That's not bad. And then you got the land. You can scry with it. Comes in tapped. And then for 3, we got Brackish Trudge for 2. Brackish Trudge enters tapped. For 2 mana, you can return it from your graveyard to your hand only if you've gained life this turn. Alright, I can see that. Devouring Tendrils for 2 sorcery. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power. Let's see. What is that? When the permanent you don't control dies this turn, gain 2 life. Okay. There's a bit of a life gain. Ooh. Plarg, Dean of Chaos. We got the school's Dean. That's cool. 2/2 for 2. Orc Shaman, legendary creature. Discard a card and draw a card. I am absolutely going to build an EDH deck around this. Probably going to make it all wheels. That would be fun. For 5, you can tap it and reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-legendary, non-land card with mana value 3 or less. Cast it for free. Put all revealed cards not cast this way on the bottom of your library. Ooh, and then it flips. What do we got here? Augusta Dean of Order. For 3, it's a 1/3. Other tapped creatures I control get +1/+0. Untapped creatures I control get +0/+1. When I attack, untap each creature I control, and then tap any number of creatures I control. I feel like that could be jank if you got the right cards. I like that. That's cool. Awesome. And then we've got a Fury Calm Snarl. As it enters the battlefield, reveal a mountain or plains. If I don't, it comes in tapped. That's neat. Ooh, and a Grape Shot for 2. Deals 1 damage to any target and Storm. Oh man, I'm telling you, if you put this in a Joyra deck or a Burgy deck, especially with that other card we pulled, you could just ruin somebody's day. I love that. Playing Solitaire is one of my favorite ways of doing EDH. I know a lot of people don't like it. It's fair. You play Magic to play Magic. That's fair enough. So for 2, we've got Thrilling Discovery, Foil, gain 2 life, discard 2 cards. If I do, draw 3. Oh yeah, I can use that for sure. That's nice. Awesome. Number next. Cool. And then, ooh, what's this? Minigame Strictly Better. Yeah, I'm gonna read that later. I don't know what that is. Ooh, neato art. Cool. Ooh, Colorless, Introduction to Annihilation. For 5 mana, exile target non-land permanent controller draws a card. That's neat. Alright, so then we've got Vortex Runner for 3, 2/3, Human Wizard. As long as you control 8 or more lands, it gets +1/+0 and can't be blocked. Fair enough. Eureka Moment for 4. Draw 2 cards, put a land from my hand onto the battlefield. Man, oh man, I like that a lot. Yeah. Landfall. Super neat. Alright. Leyline Invocation for 6. Create a 0/0 green and blue fractal and put X +1/+1 counters on it, where X is lands I control. Yep. I'm seeing a theme. Biomathematician. Oh, that's the art we got the other day. What's wrong with me? Literally a few minutes ago. Alright. For 3 mana, 2/2 Human Wizard. It enters the battlefield. You create a fractal. Put a +1/+1 counter on each fractal you control. That's not bad. Quandrix Apprentice for 2, 2/2, Magecraft. When you cast an instant or sorcery or copy one, look at the top 3 cards of your library, reveal a land, put it into your hand, and the rest to the bottom. That's neat. Alright, Golden Ratio. Oh, hold on. It goes here. Golden Ratio for 3. Draw a card for each different power among creatures you control. Oh. I like that. You could use that with something like Evolve. That's nice. Alright, Aether Helix for 5. Return target permanent to its owner's hand. Return target permanent card from my graveyard to my hand. Alright, that's nice. Frost Boil Snarl. Like the other land, reveal an island or mountain, or else it comes in tapped. I can use that. Infuriate for 1. Target creature gets +3/+2 until the end of turn. These just look so freaking cool, man. Love them. Alright, Tensured Inkcaster. For 5, it's a 2/2 Vampire Warlock. Enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on target creature. And whenever a creature I control with a +1/+1 counter attacks, each opponent loses a life and you gain 1. I like that. That's good. Alright. I keep wanting to say number next, but I know that joke's going to get old real fast. We got a Fractal. Neat. And then this one. Mountain. Pest Summoning for 3. Create 2 pests. When it dies, gain a life. Alright. What am I doing? That goes here. Serpentine Curve for 4. Create a fractal. Put X counters on it, where X is 1 plus the total number of instant and sorcery cards I own in exile or my graveyard. Gotta go fast. Alright, Square Up for 2. Target creature has base power and toughness of 4/4 until the end of turn. That's good for limited, I like that. Arcane Subtraction for 2. Target creature gets -4, -0. And then you can learn. That's the mechanic. I was forgetting its name. When you learn, you reveal a lesson card I own from outside the game and put it into my hand, or I can discard a card and draw a card. I think if I use learn, it really depends on the lesson cards in the set. I really didn't look at any of the spoilers. So if we have some really good lessons, that'd be nice. But, I mean, I really like the discard draw a card. That's nice. All right, so Burog Befuddler for 2. It's a 2/1 frog wizard with flash. And then target creature an opponent controls gets -1, -0 until end of turn when it ETBs. Divide by 0 for 3. You can learn. That's neat. Return target spell or permanent with mana value 1 or greater to its owner's hand. All right. You know, this would be really good with Jorah too. If you got like a Jorah artifact deck, you can return one of your artifacts to your hand, and then you can learn, so you can draw another card, then replay that artifact and draw another card. I like that. 4/4 for 4, Master Symmetrist, Rhino Druid. It has reach, and whenever a creature I control with power equal to its toughness attacks, it gains trample until the end of turn. Alright. Symmetry Mage. I guess there's a lot of symmetry here. It's a 0/2 for 1 human wizard with flying and magecraft. Target creature you control has base power 2 until the end of turn. I wouldn't use that, but I mean, somebody might find value in it. Culling Ritual for 4. Destroy each non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less. Add black or green for each permanent destroyed this way. Alright, so, a few things. 1, mana value. They replaced, what do you call it? Converted mana cost. I feel like that's kind of weird, but I get it. Mana value is probably easier for new players to understand, but I don't know, I really liked CMC. I got really used to it. Anyways, I like rituals. Rituals are cool. Ooh, Strategic Planning for 2. Look at the top 3 cards, put 1 in your hand, the rest into your graveyard. Man. This art, I don't know that I'll ever get over it. So good. Alright, for 2, you got Cram Session, gain 4 life, and learn. It's not bad. Especially in these colors. What is that, Golgari? Discard a card and draw a card. That's really helpful. Alrighty. Minigame. Woohoo. Man. This art's so neat. Mercurial Transformation is a lesson for 2. Till the end of turn, target non-land permanent loses all abilities, becomes a frog with base power toughness 1/1, or a blue octopus with base power toughness 4/4. Alright. Reckless Amplimancer for 2. It's a 2/2 elf druid. For 5, its power, double its power and toughness until the end of turn. Okay, yeah. I can see that having use in limited. Needlethorn Drake for 2. It's a 1/1. Flying and Death Touch. That's interesting. Death Touch in these colors. On a common, too. See, that's so... I feel like we're getting a bit of power creep with flying in particular. Like, for 2 mana, you get Flying, Death Touch, and it's a 1/1. Man. I don't know. Anyways. Biblioplex Assistant for 4. It's a gargoyle, 2/1 flyer. When this enters the battlefield, put up to 1 target instant or sorcery from the graveyard on top of your library. Alright, that's not that bad. Curate for 2, instant, draw a card, and look at the top 2 cards of your library, put any number of them in the graveyard and the rest on top of the library in any order. Neat. I like it. Wormhole Serpent for 5. It's a 3/5. For 4, target creature can't be blocked this turn. Yep. Ooh, Academic Dispute. I saw this the other day. You can learn, and then target creature blocks this turn if able. You may have it gain reach until the end of turn. I just really like the, what do you call that? There's a word here. Leave it in the comments if you know the word I'm looking for. But the fact that he's like lifting him in the air, you know, and like it gives reach until the end of turn, like I really like that. There's a word there. I know there's a word. Ooh, I did not expect that. Casmina Enigma Sage for 3, enters with 2 loyalty counters. Each other planeswalker I control has the loyalty abilities of Casmina Enigma Sage. And it's borderless. Gotta love it. You can scry for 2. That's awesome. -X gives you a fractal with X counters on it. And then the ult for -8, you can search the library for an instant or sorcery that shares a color with this planeswalker, so green or blue. Exile the card, then shuffle, and then cast it for free. That's not that bad. Man. Alright, so that's the first mythic of the box. Save that here. Okay, and then we got the rare. It is a Retriever Phoenix. 2/2 for 4, flying and haste. When it enters, if you cast it, learn. That's neat. As long as Retriever Phoenix is in your graveyard, if you would learn, you may instead return this to the battlefield. See, I like that. That's cool. So if you don't have a lesson outside of the game, or if you don't want to use that, or for whatever reason you don't want to discard a card and draw a card, you can get this card back. And I really like the fact that they're doing a lot of Phoenixes these days. That's super neat. Gotta love Phoenixes. Swords to Plowshares. Exile creature, controller gains life. Man. I will never get over this art. Frick. Alright, cool. Solve the equation for 3. Search for an instant or sorcery, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. It's not a bad tutor. I like it. Alright. Number next. I really am sorry for saying that. Like, that really will get boring super fast. Hold on. Let me do these real quick. Making a mess on the mic. Alright. I guess I didn't get a token? What happened? Alright. Ooh, this one's signed. What does that mean? 13 out of 81. Swamp. Woohoo. Rare already. For 2, academic probation. It's a lesson. Choose one of 2. Choose a non-land card name. Your opponents can't cast spells with the chosen name until my next turn. Alright, the other one is choose target non-land permanent. Until my next turn, it can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be activated. See, this is one of those cards I would never put in my main deck, but, like, is good as a lesson. You know, having it outside of the game and bringing it in, that's neat. And of course, it's white. Just like I'd expect. Alright, so for reject, for 2, instant, counter, unless, counter target creature or planeswalker, unless the controller pays 3. If that spell is countered in this way, exile it instead of putting it at the graveyard. Not too bad. Bury in books for 5. It costs 2 less to cast if it targets an attacking creature. Oh, neat. So it will be for 3, and then put the creature on top of its, put target creature into its owner's library, second from the top. Alright, and then for 6 mana, we have a construct, for a 4/5 construct, Cogwork Archivist. Has reach, and for 2, you can tap it, put target card from a graveyard on the bottom of its owner's library. You know, I'm sure this has a use, but I can't think of anything on the top of my head, so I don't know, I'll be thinking about it. Study break for 2, instant. You can learn, and then tap up to 2 target creatures. I like that. Not the best, but I like it. Ageless Guardian for 2, 1/4, Spirit Soldier. Super vanilla. Alright, so then Blood Age General for 2. It's a 2/2 Spirit Warrior. You can tap it, and attacking spirits get a +1/+0 until the end of turn. Good for limited. Eye Twitch. So 1/1 for 1 flying. When it dies, you can learn. That's not bad for 1. That's neat. Cool. And then Silver Quill Command for 4. Rare. Choose 2 out of 4. Target creature gets +3/+3 and gains flying until the end of turn. Return target creature card with mana value 2 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. Target player draws a card and loses a life. Target opponent sacrifices a creature. Yep, I can definitely see me playing this one. That's nice. Eliminate for 2. Destroy target creature or planeswalker with mana value 3 or less. Just look at how cool that art is. Just, man, I love it. All right, so Decisive Denial for 2. Foil, instant. Choose 1 of 2. You can either give target creature you control, well, hold on. Target creature you control fights target creature you don't control, or you can counter target non-creature spell unless its controller pays 3. Not that bad. I see. That's why we didn't get a token. Godsire. For 8 mana. For colorless red, green, green, white. It's an 8/8 beast. With Vigilance, you can tap it and put an 8/8 beast creature token into play that's red, green, and white. That's neat. I like it. All right, cool. That's another mythic. We've got 3 more to go for this first stack, which means we're probably going to be at this for a while. All right. Ooh, an Avatar. 3/6 haste. When this creature attacks, it deals 3 damage to each opponent. I like that for EDH. That's not bad. All right. And the art. Look at those colors. That's such a good use of purple. I love it. All right, Island. Ooh, colorless lesson. Introduction to Prophecy. Scry 2 and draw a card. Absolutely using that in EDH. No question. Pillar Drop Rescuer for 5, 2/2. Spirit Cleric with flying. When it enters the battlefield, return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from the graveyard to my hand. Alright, that's fair. I mean, for 5 mana, not too much of a fan of it, but I feel like if you're running like white weenies with some flicker, you could do some stuff with it. Fuming Effigy for 4. It's a 4/3. When 1 or more cards leave my graveyard, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. See, I like that. With something like, what's that card? Underground. What's the name of it? I just pulled it the other day. I can't even remember. Anyway, give everything in your graveyard. Man, what is even that ability? I am just blanking today. Anyways, you can cast things from the graveyard and you'd exile. That's kind of neat. And then, you got a lot of graveyard recursion stuff, and so deals 1 damage to each opponent. I can see that being super useful. Pilgrim of the Ages for 3/1 spirit. When it ETBs, search for a basic plains card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. For 6, you can return this from the graveyard to your hand. Alright, that's not that bad. White could always use more ramp. Pillar Drop Warden for 4. It's a 1/5 spirit dwarf with reach. For 2 mana, you can tap it, sacrifice it, and return an instant or sorcery card from the graveyard to your hand. Activate only as a sorcery. Alrighty. Stonerise Spirit for 2. 1/2 flying spirit bird. For 4 mana, you can exile a card from your graveyard. Target creature gains flying until the end of turn. Alright, yeah. I feel like these last few definitely go well with the Fuming Effigy. Like, these 3 cards by themselves. Okay, Stonebound Mentor for 3. Spirit Advisor, it's a 3/3. When 1 or more cards leaves your graveyard, scry 1. I feel like this whole pack is graveyard stuff. I wonder if that's on purpose. Is that how they do these set boosters? Man, I'm really behind on the game. Alright, so what is that? How do you pronounce that? Daemogoth Woe Eater for 4. I really like that. That's cool how they did that. 1 colorless, 1 black, Gruul, and green. It's a 7/6. Hold on, a 7/6 for 4. Demon, at the beginning of your upkeep, you sacrifice a creature. When you sacrifice this card, each opponent discards a card, I draw a card, and gain 2 life. Literally, there's no drawback? I mean, sacrificing a creature is what you want to do with most black cards, and a lot of green cards too. When you sacrifice this card, each opponent discards a card. This is excellent. This is really good. I'm surprised this isn't rare. What's happening? That's neat. Alright, cool. I'm going to be playing that for sure. Rare 4/4 Archmage Emeritus. It's a 2/2 Magecraft, draw a card. That's awesome. That is awesome. I will definitely be using that a lot. Cultivate. Look at this beautiful Cultivate. Man. You know, say what you will about Wizards of the Coast doing all kinds of awful things with Magic, like cardstock not being good quality, the foils bending and all that stuff, and all that weird, hey, they want a lot of money stuff, whatever, but like, man, they're doing this very right. Huge fan. And then a foil. Lash of Malice for 1. Target creature gets +2/-2 until the end of turn. Alright. Can you guys hear the train in the background? Yeah, I can. Ooh. Neato. Man, I used to draw back when I was a kid. Used to love it until a middle school teacher made fun of me, and then now I just can't draw anymore. Full of anxiety, but like, these are so beautiful. Like, I wish I could draw like that. Maybe one day. Necrotic Fumes for 3 is a black lesson. As an additional cost to cast it, exile a creature I control, and you can exile target creature or planeswalker. That's not bad, especially as a lesson. That's neat. Alright. Frost Trickster for 3, it's a 2/2 bird wizard with flying. When it ATBs, tap target creature an opponent controls, and it does not untap during its controller's next untap step. I like that. See, I really like those ETBs that do things like that. I used to have an old Azorius deck back with the first Return to Ravnica, before we did the Return to Ravnica. I'm probably the only person in the universe that actually likes the detain mechanic. I'm a huge fan of it. And, I don't know, Azorius, detain, ETB taps and things like that, and like with Venser and other flicker stuff, I had a lot of fun. Big play for 2, instant. Target creature gets +2/+2, gains reach until the end of turn, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Alright? Enters tapped, you can scry 1. That scry 1's not bad. Quandrix Pledge Mage for 3, Merfolk Druid. It's a 2/2 Magecraft, put a +1/+1 counter on this. See, that's neat. That's real neat. I like that a lot, especially in a Traxa EDH. I'd use that. Soothsayer Adept for 2, 1/3 Merfolk. For 2 mana tap, draw a card, discard a card. I always love that. Just draw a card, discard a card, or the discard a card, draw a card. Huge fan. Plum the Forbidden for 2, instant. As an additional cost, sacrifice. Oh, you may sacrifice 1 or more creatures. When you do, you copy this spell for each creature sacrificed this way. That's awesome. Draw a card and lose 1 life. I absolutely love this card. This is freaking great. Yep, huge fan. Will play. Solve the Equation for 3, sorcery. Tutor for an instant or sorcery. Oh, I think we already had this card earlier. Did we? Let me see. I feel like we did. Maybe we didn't. Maybe there's another card just like it. Anyways, tutor for an instant or sorcery. Reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. I like it. Ooh, mythic. Sorcery for 6, Body of Research. Create a fractal. Put X +1/+1 counters on it, where X is the number of cards in your library? Now that's not bad. Oh my goodness, especially in EDH, that'd be like an 80/80. Man, Alright, can go toe-to-toe with a Sarah Avenger. I like it. Agonizing Remorse for 2. Sorcery. Target opponent reveals their hand. Choose a non-land card from it or a card from their graveyard. Exile it. Lose a life. Just look at how freaking cool that is. Just... man. Beauty. Ooh, now I gotta foil one of these? Oh, this is my favorite so far. Adventurous Impulse. Look at the top 3. Reveal a creature or a land. Put it in your hand. The rest go to the bottom in any order. So neat. I love it. Foil will go here. But I'm tempted to put it there just because... well, oh well. Alright. Shivan Meteor for 5. Deals 13 damage to target creature and then suspend 2. Yeah, not bad, I guess. Obviously an old card, but better than a token. And this is the last one of the first stack. Neat. Oh, I'm telling you, man. Alright, Forest. Ooh. A colorless lesson for 2. Excuse me. Search your library for a basic land, reveal it, put it in your hand, and shuffle. See, that's especially good in Commander if you're playing with white, and obviously no green. Field Trip for 3. Search for a basic forest, put it on the battlefield, tap, shuffle, and learn. Ooh, look at these two. You could Field Trip into Environmental Sciences, get 2 lands. That's not bad. Arcway Commons enters tapped, and you sacrifice it unless you pay 1, add 1 of any color. Decisive Denial for 2. Oh, we already have one of these. Alright, so now we're starting to double up. Zamone Quandrix Prodigy for 2, 1/2, legendary human wizard. For 1 mana tap, you may put a land from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. For 4 mana tap, draw a card. If you control 8 or more lands, draw 2 cards instead. See, this is exactly what I was missing in my Omnath EDH deck. Something like this. Put a land onto the battlefield, and then I said obviously twice, my bad. You are definitely going to have more than 8 lands whenever you play this card. It's just gonna happen. Draw 2 cards instead. That's awesome. Yeah, that's neat. Alright. And then we have Kelpie Guide is a beast 2/2 for 3. Tap to untap another target permanent you control. You can tap this to tap target permanent. Activate only if you control 8 or more lands. Alright. And then Emergent Sequence for 2. Search for a basic land, put it on the battlefield. That land becomes a fractal and is still a land, and then gets +1/+1 counter for each land that entered onto the battlefield. Entered the battlefield under your control this turn. Alright. Quandrix Cultivator is a 3/4 Turtle Druid for 4. See, that's super cool. I like how they're doing that. The green, and then Simic and blue. That's cool. When Quandrix Cultivator ETBs, search for a basic forest or island, put it on the battlefield, and shuffle. Perfect. I love this. Definitely going in Omnath. Why would it not? Ooh, rare. Tempted by the Auric for 4. For each opponent, gain control of up to 1 target creature or planeswalker that player controls with mana value 3 or less. Not too bad. I can definitely see a use for it. Snakeskin Veil for 1. Put a 1/1 counter on a creature you control. Gains hexproof till end of turn. Foil Legendary Orc Shaman. Rutha Mercurial Artist for 3 is a 1/4. For 2 mana, you can return this to its owner's hand and copy an instant or sorcery I control and choose new targets for the copy. I can see EDH around this. I could build something neat. Alright, save it for later. And then Simian Spirit Guide for 3, 2/2. Remove this in your hand from the game. Add red to your mana pool. Yeah, I've seen better cards. But at least it's not a token. Alright, so now we're on our second stack. And I'm pretty confident from here on out it will get faster. Pest. There we go. And then the art. Just look at those colors. Man. Ooh. Colorless lesson for 3 expanded anatomy. I know how to read. And then you put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. It gains vigilance until the end of turn. Yep, these lessons are going to be real good. I like them. Alright, Letter of Acceptance for 3 is an artifact. You can tap it and you get into Hogwarts. No, it's a manolith, and then for 2 mana you can tap it, sack, and draw a card. Professor's Warning. For 1, choose 1. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature, or target creature gains indestructible until the end of turn. Promising Dusk Mage for 3. Human Warlock 2/3. When this dies, if it had a counter on it, draw a card. Guiding Voice for 1. Put a 1/1 counter on a target creature. Learn. Not that bad. Ooh, there's doggos outside. Exhilarating Elocution for 4. Put 2 1/1 counters on target creature you control. Other creatures you control get +1/+1 till the end of turn. Yeah, that's fair. Mentor's Guidance for 3. When you cast this spell, copy it if you control a planeswalker, a cleric, druid, shaman, warlock, or wizard. Scry, then draw. That's neat. Yeah, that's super neat. Explosive Welcome for 8. That's expensive. And this deals 5 damage to any target and 3 damage to any other target. Oh, and you add 3 red mana. Alright, so it basically costs 5, deals 5 damage to any target, 3 to any other target, so a total of 8 damage. That's not that bad. And if you copy this a bit, and it's in a Burgy deck and you have super mana, I can see potential. Leonin Light Scribe. Magecraft, creatures get +1/+1 till the end of turn. That's super useful, especially in limited. I like that. Claim the Firstborn. 1 red, gain control of target creature with mana value 3 or less until the end of turn. Untap that creature, give it haste. That's good. I like it. Mostly for the art. So cool. And then Frost Trickster Foil, 2/2 flyer for 3 mana. When it ATBs, tap a creature. Oh, hey, we already got one of these over here. Forgot about it. All right. Hey, look at that. It's a fractal. Okay, and here's the art. Neato. Swamp. Lesson. Reduce to memory for 3. Exile target non-land permanent. Its controller creates a 3/2 red and white spirit creature token. Alright. Star Pupil for 1. Oh, yeah, we've already got one of these. That's neat. Essence Infusion for 2. Put 2 1/1 counters on target creature. It gains lifelink. I think we have one of these already. Witherbloom Pledge Mage for 5. 5/5 Tree Folk Warlock Magecraft. Gain a life. Alright. Practical Research. For 5, draw 4 cards, discard 2 unless you discard an instant or sorcery card. That's valuable. Mascot Interception for 4. Sorcery. Costs 3 less to cast if it targets a creature token. Oh, so it's 1. If you target a token, gain control of target creature until the end of turn. Untap the creature, gets +2/+0 and gains haste until the end of turn. I like it. Umbral Jake. Yeah, Umbral Jake and Amir. Costs 3 mana. It's an instant. Choose one of 2. 1. Target player sacks a creature or planeswalker. Or 2. Create a 2 white and black inkling creature token with flying. Oh no. Okay. Zephyr Boots for 1. Equipment. Equipped creature has flying. Whenever it deals combat damage, draw a card and discard a card. I'm sorry, combat damage to a player. Draw a card and discard a card. I will definitely be using this in my equipment deck. And then Silver Quill Silencer for 2. It's a 3/2. When it ETBs, choose a non-land card name. Whenever an opponent casts a spell with the chosen name, they lose 3 life, and I draw a card. Village Rites for 1. As an additional cost, sack a creature, draw 2 cards. Look at how beautiful this card is. They're all so great. And then Pillow Drop Warden, which we've already pulled, but this one's foil, so it's better. And remember, if you've made it this far in the video, remember as if I've said it before, but I guess I'll go ahead and say it for the first time. All of these cards will be available for purchase via TCG Player on my store, or let's see, Instagram. I'll probably put it on Instagram, Facebook, and I mean, if you just want to skip the whole formality of it, you can send me a direct message and we can work something out. I always sell under market price, and if you're wanting to sell your cards, I will definitely do better than your local game store. Usually it's something like 40% if cash, 60% store credit. I'm thinking something like 65 for cash. All right, we've got one of these already, but I like having 2, especially because they're colorless for EDH. Super nice. And the campus, you can scry 1. Cram Session, already got. Spined Korok for 3, 2/4 Croc. What are those sounds? I guess my upstairs neighbors. Got it. So for 4, we have Professor of Zoomancy. It's a 4/3 Bear Druid. When it ETBs, create a pest. All right. Moldering Korok for 4. Zombie Croc. Trample Lifelink 3/3. That's not bad. Trample and Lifelink. All right. Team Pennant for 1. It's equipment. The equipped creature gets +1/+1, has vigilance and trample. Oh, so if you equip a creature token, it's 1. Otherwise, it's 3. Ooh, what are you? Augmenter Pugilist for 3. It's a 3/3 trample. As long as you control 8 or more lands, it gets +5/+5. That's neat. So in an Omnath deck, it's basically an 8/8 for 3 and trample. I like it. And Echoing Equation for 5. Choose target creature I control. Each other creature I control becomes a copy of this creature until the end of turn, except they are not legendary if the chosen creature is legendary. Man, oh man. I can definitely see myself abusing this card. Huge fan. All right. Save for later. Gnarled Professor. It's a 5/4 Trample Treefolk Druid for 4. When this ETBs, you learn. Thanks, Professor. Ephemerate for 1. Instant. Exile target creature I control, and then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control and rebound. Ooh, it's a neato flicker. And then Foil Bayou Groff. It's a plant dog for 2. It's a 5/4 as an additional cost. Sack a creature or pay 3. I see, so it's a 5/4 for 5 unless you sack a creature. That's not too bad. Especially if you put that in a black deck. You want to sack creatures. A buddy of mine was arguing with me the other day about power levels for the different colors. We both definitely agreed that Foil Island. We both definitely agreed that green is the strongest color. I said blue is the second. He said black is the second, and then blue. Obviously, red and white is last. You know, he had a point, though, because, like, sacrifice a creature in black sounds like it's a drawback, but it's literally something you want to do. And sack a creature in black gives you access to every other ability in the color wheel. And so, like, Yeah, if green wasn't so freaking powerful, black would win. Anyway, so we got another lesson here for 3, Inkling Summoning. Create a 2-white Inkling creature token with flying. Spectre of the Fens for 4. It's a flying spectre for 2/3. For 6 mana, target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Blood Researcher for 3. It's a 2/2 with menace. Whenever you gain life, it gets a 1/1 counter. That's not too bad. Leech Fanatic for 2. It's a 2/2 human warlock. As long as it's your turn, it has lifelink. And then for 3, we have an elk here named Springmane Servant. It's a 3/2, and when it ETBs, you gain 2 life. Skirrid Colony. It's a 2/2 with reach for 2. It gets +2/+2 as long as you control 8 or more lands, which basically means in a deck like an Omnath deck, or really any green ramp, it's basically a 4/4 for 2 and reach. That's not bad, especially for a common. Tangle Trap for 2, instant. Choose one of 2. You can destroy an artifact, or it deals 5 damage to a target creature with flying. Typical green. Woohoo! We already got this art. Storm Kiln Artist for 4. It's a 2/2, and it gets +1/+0 for each artifact you control, and Magecraft you can create a treasure token. Now that's a nice dwarf. That is a really nice dwarf. I like that. Absolutely will use. Woohoo! Manifestation Sage for 4 Simic. Human Wizard 2/2. When it ETBs, create a fractal and put X 1/1 counters on it, where X is the cards in hand. Not that bad. Growth Spiral for 2. Draw a card, put a land card from my hand to the battlefield. Gotta love these cards. Oh my word. Look at how beautiful this Despark is. Hold on. Let me get it closer. You guys see that? That is unreal. Look at that beautiful foil. I love this card. Oh my goodness. It's gorgeous. Awesome. All right. Number this one. Okay. Inkling. Whoops. All right. Oh. I think I've already pulled this card, but that art is so darn neat. Got a foil forest. That over there. And then a fractal summoning. X to Simic. And you create a fractal with X counters on it. That's not that bad. It's a lesson as well, so that's even better. And then we've already got one of these in foil. Novice Dissector for 4. It's a 3/3 Troll Warlock. For 1, you can sack another creature, put a 1/1 counter on target creature, activate as a sorcery. Unwilling Ingredient. That's such an excellent name. Flavor. Was that the word I was looking for? Flavor? For that card that does reach. Anyways, this is excellent flavor. Unwilling Ingredient. Don't look at me like that. It was either this or being eaten by a Groff. I love that. Alright, so for 1, it's a Frong, 1/1 menace. For 3 mana, exile this from your graveyard, draw a card, and lose a life. That's not bad. Hunt for Specimens. It's a 2 sorcery. It's a sorcery for 2, I mean. And you can learn. Create a pest. Nice. That's really it. Just create a pest and learn. Okay. Infuse with Vitality for 2. Gain 2 life until the end of turn. Target creature gains Death Touch. And when this creature dies, return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. That's good with an ETB card for sure. Spell Satchel for 2. Artifact. Magecraft. Put a book counter on Spell Satchel. You can tap it to remove a book counter to add a colorless. For 3 colorless mana, you can tap this, remove 3 book counters, and draw a card. That's not bad. For 2 mana with Magecraft, you can definitely get 3 book counters super quickly, especially like whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery, especially with all this other good stuff here. Look at this mythic. Blex Vexing Pest. It's a 3/2 for 2 legendary pest. Other pests, bats, insects, snakes, and spiders I control get +1/+1. When this dies, gain 4 life. And the other side is a sorcery. For 4, search for Blex. Look at the top 5 cards of your library, put any number of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. Lose 3 life for each card you put into your hand this way. That's not all that bad. Personally don't think I'm going to be playing this card, but I can see its use. Alright. Poet's Quill for 2. It's a rare equipment. When it ETBs, you learn, so that's nice for 2 mana. And then equipped creature gets +1/+1 and lifelink. You can equip for 2. Alright. Adventurous Impulse. I think this is the second one we've got. Pestilent Cauldron is a foil rare artifact for 3. You can tap it, discard a card, create a pest, or for 1 mana you can tap it. Each opponent mills cards equal to the amount of life you've gained this turn. Not too bad. For 4 mana you can tap it and exile 4 target cards from a single graveyard and draw a card. Now that is the one I would probably use all the time. The other side is a sorcery. Restorative Burst for 5. Return up to 2 target creature, land, and or planeswalker cards from your graveyard to your hand. Each player gains 4 life, and then you exile this card. That has use. I like that. Okay. Seems like we're about halfway through this box. I feel like we could be making better time. Look at this treasure token. Ain't that a beaut? Okay, and neat. Plains. Containment Breach for 3 is a lesson. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. If its mana value is 2 or less, create a pest. Not too bad. Beaming Defiance for 2, instant. Target creature you control gets +2/+2, gains hexproof until the end of turn. Crushing Disappointment for 4. Each player loses 2 life. I draw 2 cards. You know, I will be using this in any deck any EDH deck that's black. Each player loses 2 life and I draw 2 cards. I would run that just to draw 2 cards. Lash of Malice, we've already got one of these. Rise of Extus. Oh, this is the art that I was saying. Look at that purple. For 6 mana, you learn and you exile target creature. Exile up to 1 target instant or sorcery card from a graveyard. I feel like the art is better than the actual card. For 4 mana, Mage Hunter's Onslaught is a sorcery. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. Whenever a creature blocks this turn, its controller loses a life. Creative Outburst for 7. It's an instant. Deals 5 damage to any target. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. Put 1 into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. For 2 mana, you can discard this and create a treasure token. It's not too bad. Prismari Apprentice for 2. It's a 2/2 human shaman with Magecraft. Let's see. It can't be blocked this turn if that spell has mana value 5 or greater. Put a +1/+1 counter on it. That's good. I think that's real good. I like it. Here's a rare. Venerable War Singer for 3. Is a 3/3 Vigilance Trample Spirit Cleric. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, I may return target creature card with mana value X or less from the graveyard, where X is the amount of damage that is dealt to that player. That's neat. Give this a number of boosts, hit somebody real hard, get a super powerful card back. No. Look at that. Teferi's Protection. You know, I almost bought one of these the other day for one of my decks. Glad I didn't. Great. And then we got a Stonebound Mentor. Whenever 1 or more cards leaves the graveyard, scry 1. It's not that bad. It's good foil. All right. You know, so far I'm really liking this box. I mean, I'm not really up to date currently on the market value of any of these cards, but You know, even if I don't break even, I'm having such a really good time. These cards are so great. Super excited to play some of these. Yeah, and we still have practically half a box to go. So let's see what we got next. Ooh, that's neat art. We've got Teaching of the Archaics is a rare. It's a lesson for 3. If an opponent has more cards in hand than I do, I draw 2 cards. I will draw 3 cards instead if an opponent has at least 4 more cards in hand than I do. Now that is a lesson. Thank you, Archaics. Defend the Campus for 4. An instant, you choose one of 2. Either creatures you control get +1/+1 to the end of turn, or destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. Campus Guide for 2 is a 2/1. When at ETB, search for a basic land, reveal it. That's not bad. Yeah, that's not bad. And then Prismari Campus, you can scry 1. Prismari Pledge Mage for 2 is a 3/3 defender, and then has Magecraft that basically removes defender. Waterfall Aerialist is a flyer, 3/1 for 4, and ward 2. See, I'm not really a fan of that ward 2, but I mean, it has its uses, but... Snow Day for 6. Instant. Tap up to 2 target creatures. They do not untap. The next untap step, draw 2 cards and discard a card. Sorry, just gotta move around here. Maelstrom Muse is a 2/4 flying Djinn wizard for 4. When this attacks, the next instant or sorcery costs less to cast, where X is its power as this ability resolves. I like that so much. Man. Baleful Mastery for 4 is a rare instant. I may pay 1 and a black rather than pay this spell's mana cost. If I did, an opponent draws a card. Exile target creature or planeswalker. That's not that bad. Whirlwind Denial for 3. For each spell or ability your opponents control... For each spell and ability your opponents control... Oh, that was right. Counter it unless its controller pays 4. Neato. Introduction to Prophecy. Scry 2, draw a card. We've already got one of these, but this one's foil. Gotta love it. Alright. We got 3 more in this stack. And then we'll be on to the last one. Okay. I mean, how do you not love this art? Like, you've got to have, like, your childhood must have been super rough if you can't look at this art and just go, wow. Like, look at this. Like, imagine if you were a child again and you just saw these colors like this. It would just inspire you, man. This is so freaking cool. All right, anyways, we got an island, another introduction to Prophecy. Love it. Spectacle Mage, a 2/2 flyer bird shaman for 3. Instant and sorcery spells I cast with mana value 5 or greater cost 1 less to cast. I love these cards that make other cards cheaper. I will definitely be running that. Pigment Storm for 5. Sorcery deals 5 damage to target creature. Excess damage is dealt to the controller instead. Oh man, that's cool. It's a sorcery that has trample. I like it. Pop Quiz. Draw a card and learn for 3 mana. That's great. It's like basically draw 2 cards, discard a card for 3 mana, or draw a card and cheat one in from outside the game. Teach by Example for 2 is an instant. Whenever I cast my next instant or sorcery, I can copy it and choose new targets. For 2 mana, that's not too bad. Resculpt for 2. Exile target artifact or creature. Its controller creates a 4/4 elemental. Okay. Expressive Iteration. For 2 is a sorcery. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library and exile one of them. You may play the exiled card this turn. Oh, that's better than I thought it would be. Prismari students dance in the tension between passion and perfection. Now that's a poetic line. I like it. Ooh-wee. This is Valentine Valentin, Dean of the Vein. For 1 mana, is a legendary vampire warlock with menace and lifelink, 1 power, 1 toughness. If a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, I exile it instead. When I do, I can pay 2 mana, and if I do, I get a pest. Alright, and then the other side is a druid. For 4, legendary human, Lisette, Dean of the Root, 4 power, 4 toughness. Whenever I gain life, I can pay 1 mana. If I do, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature I control, and they gain trample until the end of turn. Now that is not bad. Yep. I like that. And then we've got Cody, Vociferous Codex for 3 mana. Legendary artifact construct. I can't cast permanents. Is a 1/4. For 4 mana, I can tap it and add Wooburg to my mana pool. When I cast my next spell this turn, exile cards from the top of my library until I exile an instant or sorcery card with lesser mana value. Until end of turn, I can cast that for free. Put each other card this way from the bottom of my library in any order. If you guys haven't seen it already, Commander's Quarters did a video, a tech deck on this card for EDH. Huge fan. You guys should go look at that one. Abundant Harvest for 1. Choose a land or a non-land. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a card of the chosen kind. Put that card into your hand and the rest of the bottom of your library in any order. Neat. So it's like what's that enchantment? Is it really just called Abundance? Yeah. So it's like a one-off Abundance. And then here's a foil. Igneous Inspiration for 3 sorcery. You can learn and deal 3 damage to any target. So it's like a lightning bolt that lets you learn. And it's foil. Ooh, we got a sliver. All slivers get +1/+1. The other day I opened a box of Modern Horizons before I got this camera set up. Wish I would have waited. But anyways, I got the first sliver and a foil Sarah. That was cool. I was definitely hoping for Urza. Had a dream that I pulled an Urza, and well, guess it was just a dream. Here's a spirit. Okay, here's the art. You know, this is inspiring me to draw again. I really gotta get to it. How beautiful. Here's a Plains. Expanded Anatomy. We've already got one of these. We can expel for 3. It's an instant. You can exile target tapped creature. It's not that bad. Thrilling Discovery for 2. Gain 2 life. And then I may discard 2 cards. If I did, draw 3. I feel like I've got one of these. Tome Shredder for 3 is a 2/2 wolf with haste. I can tap it, exile an instant or sorcery card from the graveyard, and put a +1/+1 counter on this. Excavated Wall for 1 is a defender, obviously. 0/4. I can tap it. I can pay 1 mana, tap this, and mill a card. I feel that could be useful. You know, especially in Limited, they've got a lot of graveyard stuff going on here, and if a few different cards of a graveyard, if a card leaves the graveyard, you can do stuff. You know, each opponent loses a life, or you can scry or something like that. Illustrious Historian. It's a 2/1 human shaman for 2. For 5 mana, you can exile this from your graveyard, create a tapped 3/2 spirit. See, what was I saying? Graveyard stuff. Tend the Pests for 2 is an instant. As an additional cost, you can sack a creature. You must sack a creature. Create X/1/1 pests, where X is the sacrificed creature's power. Alright. Then we've got Dina Soul Steeper for 2 mana. Is a 1/3 legendary Dryad Druid. I like that. Dryad Druid. When you gain life, each opponent loses a life. Now that's good. For 1 mana, sack another creature, and this gets +X/+0, where X is the sacrificed creature's power until the end of turn. Witherbloom Command for 2 is a sorcery. You get to choose 2 of 4. Target player mills 3 cards, and then I return a land from my graveyard to my hand. Or destroy target non-creature, non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less. or target creature gets -3, -1 until the end of turn. And finally, target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. I think less useful for the way I like to play, but I still like it. Tendrils of Agony for 4. Target player loses 2 life and you gain 2 life, and Storm. And here's the foil, Containment Breach. We've already got one of these, but this one's foil. Here's the last pack of this stack. I feel like I'm rhyming. I guess I was rhyming. Inkling. Here's the art. And then Foil Swamp. Alright, Spirit Summoning. I think I've already got one of these. Relic Sloth for 5 is a 4/4 beast with Vigilance and Menace. It's not too bad. Make your mark for 1. Target creature gets +1/+0 until the end of turn, and when that creature dies, create a spirit. Let's see. Twin Scroll Shaman for 3 is a dwarf shaman with double strike, 1/2. Enthusiastic Study for 3. Target creature gets +3/+1, gains trample until the end of turn, and then you learn. And here's Lorehold Campus, 4 mana scry 1. Lorehold Pledge Mage, first strike 2/2 for 3, core shaman. Magecraft, it gets +1/+0 until the end of turn. Deadly Brew. Did we already get one of these? I can't remember. For 2 mana, it's a sorcery. Each player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker. If I sacrificed a permanent this way, I can return another permanent from the graveyard to my hand. That's not bad. Woohoo! Pokemon Stadium. For 3 mana is an artifact. I can tap it to add 1 colorless and put a point counter on the stadium. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to me, remove a point counter from this stadium. When a creature I control deals combat damage to an opponent, put a point counter on Strixhaven Stadium. Then if it has 10 or more counters on it, remove them all and that player loses the game. You know, I really like cards that give us different ways to win the game, but the moment they come into play, it just never really happens. Ooh, that's mythic. Channel 2/2. Until the end of turn, anytime I could activate a mana ability, I may pay 1 life. If I do, I add 1 colorless. You know I'm going to be using that. Burying Books is a foil. I think we have one of these already, but this one's foil. Alright. Last stack. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's get to it. Okay, got an Inkling. Ooh, they're ready for the fight with Voldemort, for sure. Foil Plains. Rare. Confront the Past. Ooh, Liliana, what's going on here? It is a lesson that costs X and 1 black. I may choose one of 2. Return target planeswalker card with mana value X or less from the graveyard to the battlefield, or remove twice X loyalty counters from target planeswalker an opponent controls. Oh, poor Liliana. She's still heartbroken from the battle. Understandable. I mean, she was kind of the worst. We've got one of these already. Stone Rise Spirit, or Stoner Eyes Spirit, depending on if you're stoned or not, is a flyer, 1/2 for 2. 4 mana, exile a card from your graveyard. Target creature gets flying until the end of turn. Stonebound Mentor, we've already got one of these, but I like it. Tenured Ink Caster, we've got one of these already, but I like it. Karak Wrangler is a 3/3 for 5 with Magecraft, and put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. That's nice, I like it. Dueling Coach is a 2/2 for 4 human monk. When this ETBs, put a 1/1 counter on a creature. For 5 mana, tap this and put a 1/1 counter on each creature that already has a 1/1 counter. That's real great. Woohoo, another Dean. Shale, Dean of Radiance. For 2 mana, 1 and white, is a legendary bird cleric with flying, vigilance, power of toughness 1/1. You can tap it to put a 1/1 counter on each creature that ETB'd this turn under your control. That's a good distinction. Embros, Dean of Shadow. For 4 mana, is a legendary human warlock with 4 power, 4 toughness. You can tap it, put a 1/1 counter on another target creature, and then this deals 2 damage to that creature. Whenever a creature I control with a 1/1 counter on it dies, draw a card. Yep, I can abuse that. That's neat. Ooh, my. A new Elder Dragon. We have Tenazir Quandrix. For 5 mana, is a 4/4 flying trample mythic card. When this ETBs, double the number of 1/1 counters on target creature you control. When this attacks, you may have the base power and toughness of other creatures I control become equal to this card's power and toughness until the end of turn. Yep. I like this. I like that a lot. Negate. Yep, that I'm definitely using this. Look at how beautiful this negate is. Just, love. Plumb the Forbidden. For 2 mana, we've got an instant foil. As an additional cost, you may sack 1 or more creatures. Oh yeah, I guess we already have this. If you do, draw a card, you draw a card and lose a life for each creature sacrificed this way. Reading is hard after you've been doing it for a while. Alright. Let's see. Ooh. Okay. Now this is interesting to me. How does this not look like iconographic art, like Byzantine religious iconography? I wonder what they're saying here. There's got to be a message or something. I'm curious about the card. Hopefully we pull it so I can see what's going on. Alright, we got a Swamp. Introduction to Prophecy. I'm glad that we're getting more of these. Expel. Thrilling Discovery. Tome Shredder. Excavated Wall. Show of Confidence. Instant for 2. When you cast this spell, copy it. For each other instant and sorcery spell you cast this turn, choose new targets. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature. It gains vigilance till the end of turn. That's useful. Silver Quill Apprentice for 2. It's a 2/2 human warlock with magecraft. Target creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Fracture for 2. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or planeswalker. Alright. Multiple choice. Good flavor. X and a blue is a sorcery. If X is 1, scry 1, draw a card. If it is 2, choose a player. They return a creature card they control to its owner's hand. If it is 3, create a 4/4 elemental. If it is 4 or more, do all of the above. I wonder why you would want to pay more. There's got to be another card that gives you some sort of benefit if X is like 5 or higher. I don't know why you would want to do that though. Defiant Strike for 1. Neato. And then we've got a Fuming Effigy. We've already got one of these, but this one is foil. And then we've got Murderous Cut for 5. Instant Delve, destroy target creature. Not bad. Okay. Let's see here. Look at that worm. Almost looks like it's gonna eat Will Smith on the subway. I like it. Forest. I hope somebody understood that reference. Alright, Inkling Summoning. We got one of these. Illustrious Historian. I think we've got one of these already. Relic Sloth for sure. Make Your Mark. Yep. Twin Scroll Shaman. Yep, we've got one of these. Clever Luminancer. It's a 0/1 for 1 human wizard magecraft. It gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Professor of Symbology is a 2/1 for 2 core cleric. When it ATBs, you learn. That's not that bad. Actually, that's really not bad. Another Dean. Kian, Dean of Substance. For 3 mana, you've got a 2/2 legendary elf druid. You can tap it, exile on top of your library. If it is a land, put it in your hand. Otherwise, put a study counter on it. Put a study counter on it? I wonder what that's for. Oh, obviously the second ability. For 5 mana, create a fractal and put counters on it for each different mana value among non-land cards I own in exile with study counters. Alright, that's valuable. That's fair. And then the other side is Ibrahim, Dean of Theory. These names are interesting. These names are so interesting. A few of them are Christian. 3/3 flyer for 4. X blue, tap it, exile the top X cards of the library and put a study counter on each of them. Then you may put a card you own in exile with a study counter on it into your hand. Yeah, that's useful. I like it. Exponential growth. Until the end of turn, double target creature's power X times. I like that. I feel like it would bite me in the tail, but I like it. Compulsive research for 3. Target player draws 3 cards, and that player discards 2 cards unless they discard a land. And then an apprentice, which is foil. Training grounds. Activated abilities of creatures I control cost up to 2 less to activate. This effect can't reduce the amount of mana an ability costs to activate to less than 1 mana. No, that's fair. Alright. Making good progress. If you can't tell already, I, like Marshall from How I Met Your Mother, really enjoy singing whatever I'm doing. I hope it doesn't bother you, but if it does, deal with it. Woohoo! I feel like we've already got either this card or this art, I'm not really sure. And then a plains. Then we've got Start from Scratch is a lesson for 3. Choose one of 2. It deals 1 damage to any target, or destroy target artifact. I feel like we've already got one of these. Enthusiastic Study, Lorehold Campus, Lorehold Pledge Mage. Combat Professor is a bird cleric, 2/3 flyer for 4. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gets +1/+0 and gains vigilance until the end of turn. Or when Shield Mage, we've already got one of these. Glad to have 2. Returned Past Caller for 6. 4/2 flyer spirit cleric. When the CTBs, return a spirit, instant, or sorcery from the graveyard to your hand. That's good. Lorehold Apprentice for 2. It's a 2/2 human cleric with Magecraft. Spirit creatures you control gain tap. This creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. Yeah, that has use. I've got a buddy who's building a ping deck just for fun. Draconic Intervention is for 4. As an additional cost, exile an instant or sorcery from the graveyard. This deals X damage to each non-dragon creature where X is the exiled card's mana value. If a creature dealt damage this way would die this turn, exile it instead, and then exile this card. And then we have Thrill of Possibility for 2. Discard a card, draw 2 cards. Ooh, and then Harmonize. That is a neat-o foil. I like it. Draw 3 cards. Okay, down to pack number 6. Another minigame card. Another art card. Now that just kind of looks angelic. I wonder if that's the point. Mountain, Pest Summoning, and then I feel like we have this Pledge Mage already. We've got this Campus, Arrogant Poet. Huh, that's neat. We literally just got this art. It's a 2/1 human warlock for 2. When it attacks, pay 2 life. If I do, it gains flying. It's definitely flavored. That's neat. Spiteful Squad for 4 is a 0/0 human warlock with Death Touch. It ETBs with 2 1/1 counters. When it dies, put those counters on target creature you control. That's neat. That's, I like that. Eager First Year for 2 is a 2/2 human wizard with Magecraft. It gets +1/+0 until the end of turn. Today, she learns the basics. She'll knock out Advanced Theory later this week. Yep, you could just name that Hermione. Reconstruct History for 4. It's a sorcery. Return up to 1 target artifact card, up to 1 target enchantment card, up to 1 target instant card, up to 1 target sorcery card, and up to 1 target planeswalker card from your graveyard to your hand. Exile this card. That's not too bad. Quintorius, Field Historian. Legendary Elephant Cleric is a 2/4. Spirits get +1/+0. When one or more cards leaves my graveyard, create a 3/2 spirit. Not bad. Quandric Command for 3. Instant, choose 2 of 4. Return target creature or planeswalker to its owner's hand. Counter target artifact or enchantment spell. Put 2 1/1 counters on a creature. Target player shuffles up to 3 target cards from their graveyard into their library. That's not that bad. Divine Gambit for 2. Sorcery. Exile target artifact, creature, or enchantment an opponent controls. That player may put a permanent from their hand onto the battlefield. Neat. Ooh, a foil excavated wall. I bet that's like 7 cents. Pack number 5. Hey look, it's the Leonin Rare from earlier. And we got a Forced. Elemental Summoning creates a 4/4 elemental for 5. It's a lesson. First Day of Class. For 2 is an instant. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield this turn, under your control, put a 1/1 counter on it and it gains haste, and then you may learn. That's actually not that bad. Lorehold Excavation for 2. At the beginning of your end step, mill a card. If it was a land, gain a life. Otherwise, deal 1 damage to each opponent. For 5 mana, you may exile a creature card from your graveyard. Create a tapped 3/2 spirit. Alright. Ardent Dust Speaker for 5 is a 3/4 Minotaur Shaman. When it attacks, put an instant or sorcery card from the graveyard and on the bottom of your library. If you do, exile the top 2 cards of your library and play those cards this turn. That's actually not bad at all. Stonebinder's Familiar for 1 Spirit Dog is a 1/1. Whenever 1 or more cards are put into exile during this turn, it gets a 1/1 counter. This ability triggers only once each turn. See, if it triggered more than once each turn, this card would just blow up. Go Blank for 3 mana. Target player discards 2 cards, then exile all cards from that player's graveyard. Not that bad. Flunk for 2 mana. Target creature gets -X until the end of turn, where X is 7 minus the number of cards in that creature's controller's hand. Test of Talents for 2. Instant. Counter target instant or sorcery spell. Search its controller's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with the same name as that spell and exile them. That player shuffles, then draws a card for each card exiled from their hand this way. It's not bad. Ingenious Mastery for 3 mana and X is rare. I may pay simply 3 mana rather than pay this spell's mana cost. If I did, draw 3 cards, then an opponent creates 2 treasure tokens and they scry 2. If not, draw X cards. Alright. Yeah. That's fair. That's actually a really good political card for EDH. Opt. What a beautiful opt. And then a foil Relic Sloth. Then we've got a Willow Dryad for 1 Forest Walk 1/1. Better than a token. Down to the last 4. Another mini game. I wonder if anyone actually plays those mini games. Ha-ha. Then a mountain. Fractal summoning, we probably already got one of these. Eureka moment for 4. Draw 2 cards and put a land from your hand onto the battlefield. That's good. This looks like, I wonder if it's the same person from that other card that does something very similar. I'll play that card. We've already seen this, and Biomathematician. Serpentine Curve creates a fractal, and put X11 counters on it where X is 1 plus the total number of instant and sorcery cards that I own in exile and in graveyard. It's not bad. Square up, fool. For 2 mana, instant, target creature has base power and toughness 4/4 until the end of turn. Ingenious Inspiration, I've seen that already. Rutha, Mercurial Artist, we've already got one of these. Radiant Scroll Wielder for 4 mana is a 2/4 dwarf cleric. Instant and sorcery spells I control have lifelink. Now that's bomb. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile an instant or sorcery card at random from your graveyard. Cast it this turn. If a spell cast this way would be put into the graveyard, exile it instead. Yep, I like that. And then Gift of Estates. If an opponent controls more lands than I do, search for up to 3 planes, reveal them, put them into your hand, and shuffle. And then a foil opt. What a good box. I don't even know about these prices, but man, I like everything I've got. We've got 3 packs left. What do you think? Did I get a borderless Liliana? Let's hope. Fingers crossed. Pack number C. Fractal. Oh. And then a Swamp. Introduction to Annihilation. Arcane Subtraction. Don't think I've got this yet. For 2 mana, target creature gets -4/-0 until the end of turn, and then I learn. Burog Befuddler for 2 mana. I think we've already got this one. Reckless Amplimancer. We do have this one. Needlethorn Drake. Yep. Biblioplex Assistant. Reflective Golem for 3 mana is a 2/3 artifact creature. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets only this card, I may pay 2. If I do, copy it and choose new targets. That's cool. You can just keep copying this, and if you keep having 2 mana, ooh, this would be nasty with Burgi. This would be real nasty with Burgi. This would be helpful with a Joyra deck too, because it's historic as an artifact. Killian, Ink Duelist. 2/2 legendary human warlock, lifelink menace. Spells I cast that target a creature cost 2 less to cast. That's actually real good. I like that. And then Pestilent Cauldron. We've already got one of these. Duress. Look at this Duress art. That's just so cool. Man. And then Environmental Sciences. We've already got one of these, but this one's foil. Okay. Which do you think has Liliana? This one? Alright. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I got a pest. Okay. Now that is cool looking art. I like this a lot. Huh. Okay, and then we got a Plains, another Environmental Sciences, Study Break. For 2 mana, tap up to 2 target creatures and learn. That's not that bad. Ageless Guardian for 2. Blood Age General for 2. Yep, we already got one of these, and those, and this. Closing Statement. For 5 mana as an instant, this spell costs 2 less to cast during your end step. Destroy target creature or planeswalker you don't control. Put a 1/1 counter on up to 1 target creature you control. In conclusion, bam! I like that flavor. That's good. Sedgemoor Witch is a 3/2 human warlock for 3. with Menace and Ward, pay 3 life, and Magecraft that creates a pest. That's not bad at all. Gross and grip, bro. Look at this art. I just keep saying that, but you guys, I don't know if you're appreciating it yet, but this is so darn cool. And then a foil Leyline Invocation. All right, so this is the pack. Let's do it. Fingers crossed. And if it's not Liliana, it's got to be at least 1 mythic, right? Ooh. Here's the last art in this box. There's an island. Mercurial Transformation. I think we've already got this one. Curate for 2 is an instant. Look at the top 2 cards of your library. Put any number of them in your graveyard and the rest on top of your library in any order. And you draw a card. Reject. I feel like we've got this already. Burying Books. Cogwork Archivist. Thunderous Orator. It's a 2/2 core wizard. When this attacks against flying, if I control a creature with flying. The same is true for First Strike, Double Strike, Death Touch, Indestructible, Lifelink, Menace, and Trample. Yep, I like that. I like that a lot. Shadewing Lariat. For 3 mana is a 2/2 flyer, Human Warlock. Whenever another creature I control with flying dies, put a 1/1 counter on target creature I control. It's not bad. Humiliate for 2. Target opponent reveals their hand. Then I may choose a non-land card from it. That player discards that card, and I put a 1/1 counter on a creature I control. Verdant Mastery for 6. I may pay 4 mana rather than pay this spell's cost. I search my library for up to 4 basic lands, reveal them, put 1 onto the battlefield tapped under an opponent's control if the 4 was paid. I put 2 of them onto the battlefield tapped under my control and the rest in my hand. Then shuffle. Oh, that's interesting. So if you pay the full cost, you get 2 in the hand and 2 on the field tapped. If you paid 4 instead of the full cost, you get 2 in the hand, 1 on your side and 1 on their side. That's fair. Ooh, Mizzix Mastery. See, I told you there was a mythic in here. What did I say? For 4 mana is a sorcery. Exile target card that's an instant or sorcery from my graveyard. For each card exiled this way, copy it and cast it for free, then exile this card. That is nasty. And then you can overload it. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That is, ooh, disgusting. Square up, fool. Foil. Love it. And then Springjack Shepherd. For 4 mana, you've got Chroma. When this comes into play, put a goat into play for each white mana symbol in the mana costs of permanents I control. It is a 1/2. Not too hot. Well, so this isn't the worst box I've ever opened. Definitely not the best box I've ever opened, but there's a lot of good stuff in here that I'll either play personally or, maybe one of you guys want to purchase from me. Everything you see here is available for purchase. If it's a comment, I'm selling them in play sets, because why just mail one? Anyways, I'm going to do the whole YouTube thing, so apologies. Be sure to subscribe if you like the video. You can leave a comment below. Actually, more than anything, just comment below, just so, there's some sort of engagement. I can talk to you guys and everything else, see what you guys want to watch. If this is something that's up your alley, be sure to check out my Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and let's see, what else was there? Ooh, Patreon. Started that up recently. If you guys want to support me, like videos like this, you are more than welcome to help me out and check those benefits out there, because I'll be giving free cards away regularly to my patrons and supporters. Alright, this is more or less the end of this video. If you'd like to see more of this, be sure to tune in, or go check out my TikTok, where I'll be opening individual packs per video. Alright, thank you for tuning in. This is Moses for Playset Masters. I hope you guys have a fantastic pre-release. Bye-bye.